Balanced Essentials is an Australian aromatherapy company devoted to health and well-being, using the highest quality therapeutic essential oils in its all-natural product range. Each oil is subjected to quality control procedures to ensure scientific evidence of its properties. This unique collection, superbly presented, describe the effect on the mind and relate to an energy center of the body. Beautiful blends that will uplift, calm, focus your awareness are vital for your skin and will inspire you. The inclusion of crystals to promote and amplify the properties of the products support results that offer a profound and beneficial approach to health and well-being. Take a deep breath. Now sit back and relax.
Hello and welcome. You're watching YouTV with me, Nikki V. Now, I want you to hang around if pain is an issue in your life. Our next guest has been creating this amazing product that you're about to experience for nearly 30 years. Now, pain is a huge issue in Australia. Millions of Australians are suffering and struggling with pain. But it doesn't have to be that way at the end of the day. That doesn't have to be your new normal. Now, if you are suffering from pain that is so intense that it affects your daily life, then I'd like to introduce you to the amazing Be Relieved. Now, Be Relieved is backed by science. Be Relieved is listed as therapeutic by that government body that we're not allowed to talk about. And this hour for you could be life-changing. But before we get into the product, I want to give you a little something to ponder.
I think in this world that is, as I said earlier, so frantic and people are searching for answers, and it feels like there is chaos out there. Even if we hide ourselves in our room, we're bombarded with images, we're bombarded with fear, we're bombarded with social media, other people's fear. You know, we've been through devastating times, we've been through drought, bushfire, flooding, and now the current, panic on all the madness that's out there at the moment. We tune into this collective consciousness of anxiety. I think in this world that is, as I said earlier, so frantic and people are searching for answers and people are starting to slow down, maybe we should go back to nature and think back a few thousand years and think they weren't so wrong at all.
For nearly 30 years, Be Relieved has been doing what it says on the bottle, and that is relief. Now, this product is, let me get this right, analgesic, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antispasmodic. But we can't get through this show without meeting the amazing creator, Cheryl. Welcome to UTV, Cheryl.
Thank you, Nikki. It's lovely to be here.
It's lovely to have you here with us. Now, Cheryl, nearly 30 years for Balanced Essentials and a lot of lives that you've changed. How does that feel?
It's quite amazing. I mean, I still remember starting in my own shop in Beecroft. And when I think the first television show that I did was in January 2000. And to be still going today, it's very surreal. Mm-hmm. But I still have customers that have been with me since the very first show.
And that's a testimony to the amazing efficacy of your products. Now, as we said, you've literally changed the lives of many Australians, and the product Be Relieved is the hero from the range that has really literally brought relief from so many Australians in pain. Yes. Did you think 30 years ago that you would have such a huge success with this product?
I didn't, but I absolutely loved aromatherapy. I loved essential oils. And the more I studied it, the more I understood it. The more I realised that's where I wanted to go. I'd done so many other things in my life, and it all came together at that particular point. But I wanted it to be easy. I found that there was a lot of aromatherapy blends that were on the market. and they were very complicated. You had to have 40 oils, and then you would mix and drops of this, drops of that. And I realised with a lot of people, especially elderly, all you really wanted was one bottle that if you didn't feel well or you had a problem, you could grab that one bottle
Yeah.
and it would do all these different things and really help you with the versatility of pain relief and more like a first aid in a bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. A first response. Now, for those of you who have never met Cheryl before, Australians love you. They've known you for this amazing brand, Balanced Essentials. Tell us about yourself and how you got here, because you've got an amazing background, like pathology, paramedic. Fill us in.
I look back to when I was only about 3, and apparently I used to mix perfumes and get into trouble with that. It was my auntie's very expensive French perfumes, and it went from there. And I had always wanted to be a nurse, but a lot of things kept coming in the way, and I was in the bank for a while and learning a lot of different skills. And then I did some nursing. I went and became a pathology paramedic. I ran the Northwest Territory for a while.
So more
So a bit of,
traditional allopathic Western healthcare
yes.
model.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that was what was important for me, because I could see then and compare the difference between a natural approach and the normal, what we looked on as the allopathic, or the way it was in hospitals. So for me, it was very, very valuable. And then, of course, getting involved in aromatherapy, that was it.
And here you are, like one of Australia's most trusted brands. And I've got to share with you as well, a very big current affair program actually
Yes.
did a thing on you, didn't they? Tell us about that. Because they called it, what was it they called it? A miracle oil.
The miracle
Tell us the
oil.
story.
I had done some thermal imaging, which to me was so important to be able to prove to people that the product actually worked by being applied to the skin.
And we're going to look at that thermal
And
imaging shortly in a little bit.
yes,
Yeah.
and from that, it developed that that particular show really wanted to show the fact that aromatherapy could work and be absorbed in the skin within 3 minutes of application. And but
And
I think they were trying to debunk it, as they do with a lot of natural products these days. Back then, I think they were trying to look at it from an angle, well, how could a smell possibly do that? How could it work? How could it affect the bowel if it was applied onto the stomach? So they
well,
went down to where I had done the thermal imaging, and they brought people off the street, and the product was applied, and then the thermal imaging was done. And in the end, they couldn't prove that it didn't work. They actually were quite excited. But
and
I
called it a
noticed,
miracle oil.
and they called it the miracle oil, and it was quite interesting. But yeah, it was a very good thing to have.
Well, it's a results-driven product. I mean, literally thousands of positive reviews. Now, I just want to, it's using essential oils that are backed by science. And what we're featuring today is listed as therapeutic by the government body that says we can't say things, which is most government bodies. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I just want to quickly, before we get into the deal, look at the pages of what they say we can say, and this is on an essential oil. Everything from temporary relief of the pain of arthritis, reduced joint inflammation associated with arthritis, joint inflammation associated with gout, relief of menstrual cramps, tension headaches, low back pain, fibromyalgia, stress and mild anxiety and nervous tension. It goes on and on and on of what we are allowed to say. That blows my mind, because these people are literally normally out to prove that you can't make those claims, but we can. So let's get into the deal, because you are going to want to pick yours up today. Now, Cheryl, you've bought us an amazing bundle. I'd love you to take us through the deal.
Well, I've brought the Be Relieved in because Be Relieved would be the most versatile product in my entire range. It's the most loved product, and I've still got customers that buy it in bundles. And I thought, well, to have two Be Relieved, which would normally be $139 down to $119. You have free delivery.
Love that.
And if you get to the checkout and you want to have some of the Be Calm, which is another product, if you were to take the calming oils out of Be Relieved, you'd end up with Be Calm. That will be at the checkout, normally $79.50 down to $49.50.
You just literally go to the website aroma.com.au or call the number on your screen, and I will say that I've not been without both of these, plus Be Uplifted and Be Inspired, for literally, I think, 18 years. It's incredible. Now, that's the deal. Talk to us about Be Relieved and what its properties are that allow it to be antispasmodic, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, all of those lovely antis.
Well, I think a lot of people now realise with aromatherapy that there are so many benefits. If you have an oil, it doesn't just do one thing. There are many different chemicals that make up, natural chemicals that make up that product. Now, there are 13 ingredients in Be Relieved. It covers a multitude of different things. It's in a base, because essential oils usually can't be placed direct on the skin. Certain oils can, but blending them down, mixing them with carrier oils such as sweet almond, macadamia and wheat germ are what will then dilute it, and that dilution then can be applied, and the carrier oils help to carry it. So they're going to nourish the skin at the same time as the essential oils will actually work to penetrate, and they penetrate very, very quickly within 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, they do. They work very
And-
quickly.
And I think that's what people are surprised about. They often say, but how can it work? Well, our skin is amazing. And one of the things with it, I think that I find incredible is that by just putting it on an area, if you have, say, arthritis in the hand, don't just put it on the fingers, although that's a great way to do it because you can then move your fingers afterwards and help to break down any calcification that's in your fingers. But put it further up, a little bit further up. The larger the area that you actually cover on the skin, the larger the dose of those essential oils. So
Wow, of course.
for people that have problems with arthritis in their feet, I'd suggest at night time, as you're getting into bed, put it on your feet, but put it up and put it behind your knee, up your leg and behind your knee, where your lymph glands are located. And you'll actually get a better result that way rather than if you just put it on your toes. So a little
Right.
bit more of a coverage, but that's what makes it so amazing.
And very, very fast acting. Now, I've known Cheryl for a long time, and I know she's got literally thousands and thousands of what we call moments of where people have written in and said, literally, you've shaved my life, saved my life, forgive me. I've got one here that I wanted to share with you. It said, I would just like to say thank you to Balanced Essentials and Cheryl. I'm 42 and suffered 3 strokes at the end of July and spent the next couple of months in hospital here in Tasmania and in Melbourne. I constantly use Be Relieved and Be Calm to help me through a lot of pain and stress. I received so many comments from the patients and hospital staff and then passed on your details. It made a huge difference to me, so thank you. And I'm very happy for you to use my comments with research and helping others. Now, that is pretty big, isn't it?
It's really lovely to know, and I still get such a not a buzz, but I guess I feel, because I can get quite emotional at times with the comments, and to know that I'm helping someone out of pain, to me, was one of the reasons why I enjoyed nursing, one of the reasons why I love aromatherapy, because I see the effect that it's having on people, and they're using it on their dogs, their
I've
cats,
got
their
reviews.
birds.
We're going to come to that shortly.
So it's just lovely to see, especially with children too, because if you have a child, and you can even put them on very young children, but to have some children come up to their mothers and actually lift their top and point to their tummy, they're unable to talk, but they're able to let them know. And they know that that particular product works. They know the Be Relieved is going to help. And that's what they're pointing to.
Analgesic, anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, and antimicrobial. Now, for those of us, and there's always a few, and that's okay, we all are on our own journey. But you may sit there and think, well, this is a load of old tosh. It's a load of old hocus pocus. But the research has been done. And let's take a look at the thermal imaging that Cheryl was talking about earlier. Now, Cheryl, what are we about to see? We're going to see some abdominal pain on the screen.
Yes.
Before and after. Talk us through.
That's the application. You can see on the left. Remember that white hot, it's white hot. That is the most painful area. You'll see followed by red, orange, and it goes off from there. You can see too that it looks like it's cramping. Now, within 3 to 5 minutes of application, the one on the right, you can see has already begun to relax. The white hot or most painful area has disappeared. And you'll actually see that the bowel looks bigger because it's relaxed. So that was one of the amazing things we found, because we knew that it worked. But to show someone visually, and especially on television, how do you show somebody?
And that's in 3 minutes of
3 to 5 minutes of application.
Next up, we're going to have a look at arthritis. Now, maybe you suffer with arthritis in your feet, you've got your bunions, you've got,
Yes. And a lot of people do.
Yes.
Lots of people, because we wear the wrong fitting shoes. We start off when we're young. We do the wrong things. We have not an alkaline diet, which would help us more. But we tend to eat the wrong foods, and that's just human nature and the way we've been brought up. But you can see on the left, again, the white hot areas are the most painful. And you can see within 3 to 5 minutes, it's already started to disappear.
Now, the next up is neck pain. Oh, my goodness me. So many of us suffer from that. We're bending over on our computers. We've not got the right posture. It can lead to referred headaches, all sorts of misery, can't it?
Very much
so. That's the before.
And I think that's the before.
Yeah.
And if we have the other one,
oh my gosh,
there's the difference there in the after.
The red's gone, Cheryl.
The red's gone. And that's how amazing. If you put together the right blend of oils in a complex blend and you use the correct oils, it's amazing what can actually be achieved.
For the symptomatic relief of sprains, soft tissue trauma, low back pain, fibromyalgia, sciatica and whiplash, neuralgia, osteoarthritic pain, peripheral circulation. There's pages of this, and I'm going to get to the end of it. I will.
Shingles and all sorts of things. So
crazy. This works, and people who try it, we stay with it, because if it ain't broken, you're not going to fix it, and that's what Be Relieved is. Now, very, very quickly, moment one, I think that one of the most beautiful experience I have had with Be Relieved was when my sister was staying with me for a period of time. She suffered from crippling, debilitating rheumatoid arthritis since she was about 16. She's now in her 60s. Numerous surgeries on every part of her body over the years, including having her toes broken and hinged on several occasions, tendons snapped, repaired, knee replacement, medications, injections, treatments, hospitalization and diet. It goes on. And it was after one of her bouts in hospital that she came to stay. And each day, this lady massaged Be Relieved into the most painful areas of her body. There was immediate relief to the pain. She'd been in for so long. Wow. That's crazy, after all that lady had been through.
Yeah.
Okay, now how do you pick it up, Cheryl? I think we better talk about the deal. We all need this. Tell us.
You can purchase it for $119. It's normally $139.
And that's 2 bottles.
And that's 2 bottles, because you find that people tend to panic when they get through and get down nearly to finishing a bottle, and they worry, I need another bottle now. So by having 2, you're going to be paying a little less, and you've got that extra bottle there, and perhaps you might want to give it away to a family member, to a neighbour, which I find a lot of people tend to hand it out and want to help others. And I think when you're relieved of pain, you want to help other people understand. So a lot of my customers come by referral, and it's just lovely to see. So the 2 bottles, $119 instead of $139, and then when you go to checkout, you'll find that you can get the Be Calm for $49.50, which normally would retail at $79.50.
And the free postage and handling. If you want a good night's sleep, Be Calm's the way to go. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back the other side of this.
I think in this world that is, as I said earlier, so frantic and people are searching for answers, and it feels like there is chaos out there. Even if we hide ourselves in our room, we're bombarded with images, we're bombarded with fear, we're bombarded with social media, other people's fear. You know, we've been through devastating times, we've been through drought, bushfire, flooding, and now the current, panic on all the madness that's out there at the moment. We tune into this collective consciousness of anxiety. I think in this world that is, as I said earlier, so frantic and people are searching for answers and people are starting to slow down, maybe we should go back to nature and think back a few thousand years and think they weren't so wrong at all.
Oh, I'm so excited for you at home to be able to get the amazing Be Relieved. It literally is life-changing. Nobody should have to live with pain. And I think you get to a stage when you do have chronic pain and it's gone on for on and on and on, and you've had the injections and you've tried everything, that you just kind of think, well, I've got to live with it now. But it doesn't have to be that way. So welcome back to Cheryl. Now, Cheryl, I want to talk about chronic pain leading to things like reduced mobility, fatigue. Takes its toll, doesn't it?
It takes its toll, and you find that emotionally you're getting more and more down each day. If you're waking up in pain, if it's with you all the time, it's constant. So therefore you're going to end up with a greater chance of having anxiety, depression, panic attacks, all those things that happen being in pain. And so the more that you can reduce the pain, the happier you get. And I think too, people tend to panic if you're in pain. You tend to think it's going to get worse.
Or it's going to be like that forever.
It's going to be like it forever. And I really get, I just love the fact that people can use the product and get hope. And this is what it gives them. It gives them hope, because a lot of people that go on a lot of medication have gotten to the point where they don't think anything else can actually help them.
That's really bad. And, as you're saying, it affects your anxiety and your memory, your decision making. Socially, it can strain your relationships.
Yeah.
You can feel isolated, lacking in sleep, lacking in physical activity. I went through nearly a year of chronic pain, and I
Yes.
had every injection, probably twice as much as I should have had when it came for inflammations, but they
Yes.
just didn't work. And you just feel utterly useless. And the depression sinks in because you feel, what do I have to offer this world? But it doesn't have to be like that.
No,
Now, Be Relieved is an analgesic and it works on pain. And Cheryl, you can show us exactly how it works on pain. We've got the proof. We've got the thermal imaging. Take us through that, my love.
The thermal imaging is quite an amazing technology. It will actually show you the pain areas of the body. And that's what I was able to do. That was the best way to show, because they even do that with elephants at Taronga Zoo,
Oh,
because
wow.
an elephant isn't going to tell you that they're feeling sore or they've got a muscle or something that's worrying them. So they tend to use thermal imaging because they can then see what's going on within the body. So it was the most ideal technology. It's even used in combination with mammography and all sorts of things. And so
we saw the bowel there. We've also got the arthritis, haven't we?
Yes, we've got the arthritis. We've got that in the feet. We're able to show the difference between applying it. Within 3 minutes, you can see on the right-hand side, it's begun to reduce the pain. And
3 minutes.
over time, if you use it, and use it as often as you need it. So in the very beginning, when you've got very painful areas, apply it and keep using it based on how your body is reacting. We need to get back to listening to our body. So apply it, and then when you feel the pain coming again, apply it again, because it will help to remove more of the inflammation that's going on within the body.
So we can't overuse it.
And No, you can't overuse it because your skin will only absorb what it needs to absorb at the time. So don't use too much because you'll find it's a waste. So just start off using it sparingly, but cover a larger area. And just one thing to show people too, when you get it, the carton itself is very good because people tend to spill oil. And one of the ways that you can do it is to push the top in that way. And that way you'll find it's actually open.
That's
There.
a clever little
And you
hack,
can
isn't it?
put the bottle back in and leave it on your bedside table or leave it wherever you need it. Now, in applying the oil,
I really feel that we should all have this.
one of the hints with it is don't worry about tipping it this way because you will inevitably spill some. You know, you may be shaky, you know, put your hand on top, tip, and what you have on your hand, start to apply with that. That way you have less chance of actually spilling it. But it's a great way to actually apply it. And then just work it out from there because you need very little to get a result. But the more that you use it in the first 3 days, if you've been in chronic pain or had pain for a long time, the more benefit you'll get.
Now, I love the fact that this is non-invasive. Aromatherapy is non-invasive. It's side effect free, but a very, very powerful. I mean, going back to, you know, the ancient Egyptians and beyond, they were finding the power of medicine in their aromatherapy, which is very exciting. Now, I've got a couple of moments here. A lady 4 years ago was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome. She had an attack a few weeks ago, severe stomach spasms and cramps, cold sweats from the pain, 3 trips to the bathroom. After her first trip to the bathroom, she gently rubbed Be Relieved on her tummy, and after 5 minutes, the pain had all but disappeared. And she said, over the years living with sometimes debilitating syndrome, I have discovered many preventative solutions to IBS, but I never dreamed that I could find something that brings relief actually in the midst of an attack. That's incredible, isn't it?
Well, that first thermal imaging that we actually had a look at, which was the bowel, that was caused by irritable bowel. And you can actually see the relief there. You can see how painful it is on the left image, and that white hot area, how very, very painful it is, and it can be incredibly debilitating. And then again, within 3 to 5 minutes of application, the bowel has relaxed, and you'll actually find that that white hot or very, very painful area has completely disappeared, which will even help you later on, you know, with constipation, because if your bowel is relaxed, it's actually going to give you a better movement.
A better movement. And
yes.
it's the white hot and the red areas. I mean, that's the neck. I'm sat here looking at that and I can feel it, you know.
Which a lot of us have, because we sit all day on a computer, and those sorts of movements of not doing much at all will mean that you can have a lot of problems with your neck.
And that was the before, and we've got an after, and all the red's gone. And I'm thinking as well, because I know that one of the government bodies things says that we can say is it was good for the sciatica. And if I get really bad SIJ pain, like a real burning, and I've had a couple of injections in that. This is amazing. It really is good stuff. So it's analgesic, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and something else.
Everything.
Everything.
Antispasmodic is another one. So if you have very, very tight muscles, if you've got cramping, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're cramping, reach for the Be Relieved and apply it, because you'll find within minutes it's begun to relax, and it will allow you to get back to sleep. Now, it's also able to help you calm. It can help you with anxiety. It has calming essential oils in it as well. So there's a whole mixture of things in this, but those calming oils can actually help you to sleep. So I find a lot of people love to put it on at night time, especially
I put it on at night
when
time. Yeah.
when they're wanting to get a good night's sleep. And that is so important because you can cope with the day more if the night isn't keeping you awake in pain.
Absolutely. Nobody should have to live with pain. But let's talk about how you can get your hands on this, because it's an amazing deal. Not one, but two, 100 mils, should be $139. Cheryl is offering it today for $119, free postage and handling. And when you get to the checkout, you can get the Be Calm for just $49.50, which is a $30 saving. We're going to talk about that now. I've got a moment to share. This is for people who think aromatherapy is all in the mind. I have a dog with a collapsed disc in his back, and he's also had a couple of operations for cancer. The vet placed him on tablets that disagreed with him and gave him the runs and not so nice side effects. They did not give him any pain relief, and in desperation, I tried the Be Calm oil on him one night and it helped. I've also used the Be Relief, and if he's in pain now and can't sleep, he comes looking for the oils. Now, it's very, very true. Obviously, there are a couple of aromatherapy oils that you absolutely should not use around animals. One is tea tree and the other is eucalyptus. But with balanced essentials, with the Be Relieved and the Be Calmed, we're pretty safe here, and many of us use them with our animals. I'd like to share a little story about my little man, Reggie, and his Be Calm.
I've always known that I can use oils with animals. Up until I came to Australia 13 years ago, I always had horses. And one of the things I would do with the horses, if they were particularly skiddy, I used to have a box of like 26 oils, and I'd bring the oils out, and invariably the horse would choose the oil that it wanted. So I've known for, many, many years that this was very powerful with animals. But Reggie was a puppy, and he's a particular type of puppy. He's a moodle. And historically, I know from friends who have any type of oodle that they tend to get a little bit of separation anxiety, and they can be a little bit nervy. I think I've got one of the most chilled oodles in the world. But from a very early age, I would rub a little bit of Be Calm on his tummy, or, I'd just give him a little massage while I was watching TV into his fur. And he comes for it now, he looks for it. You only have to go and do your research to know that the olfactory system, the power of smell, is the most powerful sense that we have. When you smell something, it bypasses all of these neurons and synapses and all these processes in your brain, and it goes straight to trigger something in your brain. And that's proven. Whether that's a memory or a feeling or a sensation, it hits the spot. It doesn't have to be filtered or processed. Oh, look. There will always be skeptics, and everybody's entitled to, their beliefs. And I think in this world that is, as I said earlier, so frantic, and people are searching for answers, and people are starting to slow down, maybe we should go back to nature and think back a few thousand years and think they weren't so wrong at all. You go back to ancient times, and they were using plants as medicine and aromatherapy. In fact, the father of modern medicine himself, Hippocrates, said 5,000 years ago, the very plants that grow on our grave could be the plants that save us. So I think, although there are skeptics, there is becoming an awakening, there's becoming a shift in mindset, as perhaps people are realising that this fast-paced, instant gratification world is actually not working.
Oh, for sure. The practice of aromatherapy predates written history. They knew what was going on with the power and the life essence of those plants. So that was just me sharing with you how one of my little puppies loves the Be Calm, Cheryl. So thank you very much for this. But this is also an incredible sleep aid. And I do believe that studies indicate it may assist in balancing the autonomic nervous system.
What I can say about Be Calm, it is the same quality essential oils that are in Be Relieved. If you were to take all of the calming oils out of Be Relieved, you end up with Be Calm. And in aromatherapy, those particular oils that are in there are the ones that are used for calming you, for helping you to relax, for helping you sleep. So that's the difference with it. They're more concentrated in Be Calm than in the Be Relieved, because of the fact there's only that number, a small number of oils in the Be Calm.
Okay.
But
So you have, and thinking about what that can do for you, if you get a good night's sleep, it can shift your sense of stress. How do you feel if you've only had half your sleep? You wake up the next day, you feel irritated, you can feel a little bit teary, a little bit on the edge, you're not on your game. Sleep is, or relaxation is incredibly important for us as human beings, isn't it?
well, that's one of the things I love about aromatherapy. It is such an important part of our lives to relax, to sleep, to regenerate the body. And what I find with some of my customers that are in a lot of pain will actually use the Be Relieved and the Be Calm together. They're getting a larger concentration then of the calming oils.
Right.
And work out what works for you. So start off and use the Be Relieved, and then if you want to try the other one, the Be Calm, and add it to it, or just use it on its own. Think of it as a body moisturiser. So you can apply it after your shower at night time or whenever you think you
Oh,
need
it's
it.
lovely on the skin. It leaves the skin
It
beautifully
does.
hydrated. You know, when you get that the scaly legs in winter, I call
Yes.
it, the lizard legs. It's
Yes.
absolutely beautiful after a shower.
And the dry feet too, because I find a lot of people don't worry about their feet as much. Now, because it's an oil, it it will absorb. But if you put it straight on and then you walk on the floor, it's probably best to wait until it actually absorbs in, or you apply it on your feet
Put socks on.
as you're getting into bed. As you're sitting there, put it on your feet and then hop into bed. And that way then it doesn't take long at all to absorb in. It's very, very quick.
And you were talking about taking the calming oils out of the Be Relieved and then more concentrated into the Be Calm. We have vetiver, which is known as the oil of tranquility. I love that. You have neroli, which is for the mood enhancement, cedarwood, which is a fantastic sleep aid, orange, mood enhancement, petitgrain, which is calming and balancing. What do you say to people who say, oh, aromatherapy is a load of old tush?
There's not much I can say. I just say use it and try, or look at the studies. There are so many books out there. There are thousands of books on aromatherapy, lots of courses on aromatherapy. We know it's a natural medicine. We know it works. There's not much you can say. I know a lot of people are skeptical, but for those people that aren't, that have an open mind or that are educated in aromatherapy and natural products, they know. And it's really lovely because I do get a lot of men that are actually very skeptical. But they're the ones, after they've used it, that are the biggest components. They go and tell people more often than the women because they're so excited that they've actually found something that works. Whereas in the beginning, their wives might have suggested, yes, put it on at night time, and they go, no, I don't need that. No, smelly stuff. It's got a lovely smell, but they won't use it. It's only when they're in extreme pain that they will then tend to think, I will use it. And from then on, they're absolutely amazed. They'll go, it worked. And they're in shock.
Told you so. I mean, it is absolutely an amazing product that has changed thousands of lives. And there are millions of Australians who are living with pain, and it doesn't have to be that way. And maybe you're sick of, you know, you have to take what you have to take. Obviously, there's place for Western medicine, but sometimes thinking outside the box. I find that the
And
body just knows
it does.
instinctively.
And I think if you try something natural first, you have less chance of becoming addicted to a lot of other medications. So it's always best to go a natural approach first and then see how you feel, because we're actually living in a society where we've thought popping a pill is the answer to everything. And it's not. You know, it leads to so many other things. And I think the majority of people now are understanding that. They're becoming more aware of a natural product. And even when you look at horses, they never medicate them to the point where they're out of pain completely, or completely pain-free with a horse, because they have to walk. Now, if they're not in a little bit of pain and they're walking around, they're going to hurt their legs again. So for them, it's not necessarily the best way to go to have some of the very strong opioids that are out there.
Yeah, I mean, we can treat the symptoms, or we can actually treat the source, can't we?
We
And
can get the inflammation down.
yeah, and the actual the olfactory system, the nose, the sense of smell is the most powerful and incredible gift that we've been given. Have you ever, for example, smelt, I don't know, lavender, and it's taken you back to your grandmother, or you smell baking bread, that aroma, and it's taken you back to that house that you grew up in? It bypasses everything. It doesn't need to be translated. It goes from there straight to something up here. It is powerful, isn't it?
I remember talking years ago on one of the shows that I did, and I said to people, if you don't like the smell of your partner, there is no way the relationship continues. If you meet someone and you can relate smell-wise, that's when you have more of a chance. But if you do not like that partner next to you and their smell, it won't last.
It's so true. And at the end of the day, we are animals, you know, it's that limbic system, isn't it? That's, oh, goodness. Now, we're not going to do the thermals, and we're going to chat about, go back to chatting about Be Relieved, because we've got an amazing deal here. So we've talked about the Be Calm, add that on, absolutely add it on. But you have got 2 100 mils that you can pick up for just $119. I think it really needs to be in the first response kit at home, you know, the minute you get that. And talk us through some of the niggles that we might get.
I use it for pretty much everything. It's my go-to. If anything happens, if I fall over, if I have a scratch, if I have a burn, anything like that, it's my go-to. It helps with headaches, it helps with sore muscles, it helps with if you have shingles. And I know quite a few people these days are suffering from shingles. It helps you in so many ways. It's my first aid in a bottle. So that's the first thing. If I have earache, I'll even put some drops in the ear.
I've done that on, I put it on cotton wool.
Yeah.
Soaked some cotton wool and shoved it in my ear overnight, and it's been amazing. Sorry, it's been amazing. I thought I was the only person that had done that.
No, it can be used that way. And another way to put it, if you have an earache, you can actually pour a little bit into the cap and then tip it into your ear as you lay on the pillow. So it's another way to actually help you apply it. And of course, if you have sinus, you can put it on your face, put a little bit on the end of your nose. It can really go on any area of the body, and we even have people with hemorrhoids using it. So it's very versatile. I think that's one thing about this product. It's one of the most versatile products on the market because it can go anywhere and it works in so many different ways. And you were able to show that with the listing that I have there,
Well, hang on.
which is a page and a half in length.
I am so, I would be actually putting this in, what do you call it, picture frames around my house. Temporary relief of the pain of arthritis, may help reduce joint inflammation associated with arthritis, joint swelling, joint mobility, muscle aches and pains, cramps and spasms. Temporary relief of the pain associated with gout, joint mobility, swelling and inflammation associated with gout, menstrual pain, cramps and symptoms, premenstrual breast pain, dysmenorrhea, tension headache, migraine, sprain, soft tissue trauma. Scientifically, this is what this lady is allowed to say by that government body that says we can't say anything. And so I'm dining out on this. Seriously, this is brilliant. Beneficial during times of stress, sciatica and whiplash, lower back pain, mild neuralgia, osteoarthritis. Goodness me, it just goes on. Osteoarthritic pain, sciatica, shingles, low back pain. It's minor burns, including sunburn, minor wounds, cuts, scratches, abrasions, eczema, dermatitis, bruising, cuts and abrasions, sleeplessness, insomnia, sore throat, tonsillitis. The list goes on. And that's what Cheryl is allowed to claim. And that's the research
important.
has been done on the oils. not the blend, it's been done on the oils. And at the end of the day, you know, we've got to look at aromatherapy, saying it's been traditionally, all of these have been traditionally used in aromatherapy for those particular reasons. It's powerful.
You will also find in the bottle too, each bottle contains a small rose quartz crystal bead, and it has a hole drilled through it, and you can use that then and collect them. I do have some people that have a whole collection in vases. But you can make something out of it. But it's that crystal healing that you're going to get, which, as we know,
It's the energy, the vibration of the crystal in
of a
the
crystal, which helps to, you know, increase the vibration of this particular product. So for me, it was very important. You can see I am very much into crystals.
I've always got a tourmaline down my bra to protect me from evil spirits.
And I think we've always worn rings, you know, when you look at it. We've used gemstones for years, and it is very important to me. And the rose quartz, because that's such a loving stone, was important to actually put in the bottle.
I actually get really disappointed when I get to the end of the bottle and the crystal falls out, because I know that I've finished the bottle.
It's the last thing to come out will be the bead.
Yeah, that is why you're getting two today for $119. Two of the Be Relief. Now, 100 mils goes, I think, a long way. It lasts a considerable amount of time. You have got a saving of $20, and do add on that Be Calm. Think about it. If you're having difficulty relaxing at night, you're having difficulty sleeping, a little bit anxious, then maybe the tender loving care of Be Calm can help you. And that has a $30 saving. I don't think in all that, I've known you for nearly 20 years, I don't think I've seen it at $49.50. So congratulations and thank you.
I wanted to add something that was very special for people. I know I'm talking to so many of my customers now, and they're all feeling there's something wrong with their body, or they know someone who's not ill. And so it was important for me that, first and foremost, that the product helps people. And that was why I started it. And I'm just so blessed. I'm so lucky to be still going after all these years. So it's been a wonderful journey.
We're the ones that are blessed. I'm just going to try and find another moment for you. Forgive me, I'm not that well organised. That we've read the doggy one. Okay. Dear Cheryl, Be Relieved has been my hero product for many years now. Initially purchased it for just the beautiful aromatherapy experience and to target muscular strain, but she was astonished to discover so many other areas. This is May, by the way, she wrote this a couple of years ago. It became my go-to remedy for hay fever and sinus issues. And I also realized it was a calming, relaxing aid to sleep. Also helps with soothing headache, neck pain, and quick relief from insect bites. So the grandchildren love it when they're unwell, have nasal congestion, aches, pains, or skin irritation. Now, we are coming up to that season of, you know, sniffles and things like that. So if that sounds like you, I would definitely get on to this. There are so, I mean, hundreds. You've literally used to come in with tombs of...
Well, I've always had folders. I've been lucky enough to get so many beautiful letters and feedback for the product. So I keep folders of it, and I think it was about 12 folders I brought into one of the shows, and I had them all lined up. And it's still going. I'm still getting so many comments on it. And it's just lovely, because if people read the comments, they will learn how to apply it to themselves. So it's very important to get that feedback there and to know that it actually works. But yes, I have a lot of folders of customer comments.
People's comments and people's stories, and that could be you, one of the success stories. Now, go to aroma.com.au and you will see Cheryl's entire range there. We've been talking about the Be Relieved. We've been talking about not one, but two of them for $119, and an add-on of the Be Calm for just $49.50. Free postage and handling, aroma.com.au. And also, while you're there, when you go to Cheryl's site, have a look at some of the reviews, have a look at what people are saying, and also have a look at the Be Uplifted and Be Inspired. And my son's favourite, he's a soccer player in Spain. His is the B Sport, and I've even shipped it over. When he was playing in Italy, I sent it over to the team. So there is something for everybody there, but you don't need to live with pain at all. At the end of the day, just call the number on your screen. Go to aroma.com.au. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
It's been
amazing.
wonderful.
Thank you so much.
It's been such a long time, and it's just lovely. Thank you very much.